Hello chat, let me double check the volume real quick, make sure that everything is going just fine. Sounds good. Let's just get started then. Today we are starting with Archeop. Hello, Overwatch? Overwatch? There we go. Who is going to be playing? McCree on Hollywood said played a game today. I mainly play McCree. I have no clue how to properly position with McCree most of the time. I'm just doing things without thinking, so I hope you can give me some tips of that. Thank you very much. Right. Everything is clean. The first after patch review, so clean. Okay, so we're looking at Archeops, who's playing a McCree. McCree is, I don't want to say pretty simple, but McCree has a very simple idea of you just play corners behind your tanks and you're just fine. Like, let's go forward. So if your right is holding here, you can just be like here, here, and the high ground is fine, so long as you know when to drop. You're basically just a DPS that follows the tanks around, right? Like, especially if you have a Reinhardt. Reinhardt enables you so much. So if Reinhardt is holding here, you can be like doing damage at the same things that Reinhardt is doing. You don't have to shoot the shield. You mostly just have to shoot people. But no, put pressure on similar things. So you don't have to make plays with McCree. You just need to shoot and click heads. At this range, right click is not as good. But you know to shoot the to right click the shield, which is fine. Just not at this range, but still decent. Shooting at the enemy, this is okay. As far it's okay, make sure you drop. Shouldn't have right click there, just again not at this range and not when you're just being pressured. Should drop. Okay, you drop to the corner, which is fine. You wait for the enemy to heal you. Or you could go. The big thing I've noticed is that thus far at least you're just you drop, you try to get healing and you just stood still. Move up to the corner, there's a Moira right here. Also ask for healing. Don't be afraid to ask for healing. Okay, right click the shield at this range is a decent idea, yeah. Trying to put some pressure in, but the Ryan dies, and don't shoot the, like, shooting at this Emo is not gonna get anything done. It's not actually preventing you from killing anyone. I feel like at this point though, like, you had a really good starting position, and then you you drop and you're just standing in the open. You're just like lost. Like you had a good start. When you were on the high ground, then you got pressured out. Even on the high ground, you should probably play with cover. But you were playing around this, and then you dropped, and after you dropped, you just feel lost. Because, like I said, like this is okay. The Yorena did miss a couple shots on you, which is unfortunate. But you can still move up to this corner. When you run shields, go take a shot. Not play here in the open, right? Like if you play here, you can peek, shoot, and if you get pressure, it's one step. If the enemy pushes, you got nowhere to go. Which is not a big thing, but you did ask for mostly positioning things, and I think you're just playing in the open too much. Because you can. You should definitely play like a little bit here, and then you can peek, shoot. Use cover. Good kill. Stand in right. Right, you didn't have, okay. You didn't have any shots, but that's okay. Good stand anyway. If you don't shoot the shield, if you can, look at it left. So good stand. Did you not have any shots? I think you didn't. You reload. You had no shots left, you stand around, then you go out. But what I wanted to come back to is you're just hard focusing the shields, and again, the big thing is not doing damage to the shield, the big thing is doing damage to everything else. And here, instead of just going after the Rhine, which is what you do, right? You go out, look at the Rhine, you have like a Baptiste here, you could have a shot at. You just look at the Baptiste and shoot at the Baptiste. Because breaking the shields is not as important as actually hitting people. You could hit the Orisa. You get out and it's just fight anyway, and you barely get out. I don't think you are throwing yet. Like that wasn't too bad, but you definitely could have gotten more value if you just positioned a little bit with cover and like managed to get more impact by doing that. Taking the high ground. You seem to know at least that the high grounds are good. But again, I feel like you have good positions when you start, but then you are just lost as to where to go after. Good shots. Pressuring the enemy for this high ground is pretty good, yeah. Okay, first and first, you've got the McCree flanking you. Second, you are just holding the left click, which isn't bad, but make sure you hit if you're gonna be holding the left click. I am okay with you taking a small microsecond to aim if you got to, rather than just holding the left click all the time. At the highest ranks, you'll just be like, okay, yeah, hold it and you hit every shot anyway. But you don't have to do that, because hitting your shots is more important than just holding the left click, right? Like, this is good, this is good. Take the extra microsecond to aim. Just, if you got to not hold the left click to hit that third shot, that's really important. One, two, and then you just like, right? Just take a small moment to aim. Again, you don't need to hold the left click so hard. Continue. And then you miss another one. Stun roll, right click the McCree, that's the right thing to do. Make sure he doesn't stun you. You, again, just give me a couple shots because you're very eager to get shots in. Which, I know it can feel like a... what's the word? Counterintuitive to not just hold the left click, because you do more damage, technically, when you hold the left click. At least you output your same damage a little faster. But when you take like an extra 0.1 second to aim, you are taking an increased 0.5 fire rate to a 0.6. But if you're hitting more shots for it, that's worth it. Would be a good time to Hanyon, probably. No, actually, would not be a good time to Hanyon. Wait until your Vine drops, and that would be a good time to Hanyon. But you need to wait for your Vine to drop. You go for it anyway. You make a value out of it. Click, click, click. Should not have dropped from the left, from the high ground, right? Just stay on the high ground. There is no reason to give it up, but here just click. Just, well, you can't kill this anymore, but kill the Baptiste. Kill the Baptiste. Good enough. Yep. You would be, oh, and you drop again. I was about to say, you would be safer if you just stay on the high ground, but you can still make this work. You can go out. And this is death. No reason to give up the high ground. You miss the stun. You are just dead here. You are quite literally just dead here. Yeah. So we keep coming back to this. I feel like you've got a good idea of where to start, but you don't have a really good idea of how to follow up, and especially what to do after you have that start. Iran just won that fight, probably because they did not have a Baptiste, so they had no healing. But like, the idea of high ground, there's two benefits of high ground. One is obviously cover, right? It makes you a lot more difficult to hit, and if you get hit, you can just take a step back, get healed up, then get back in. And the second one is that it makes it a lot easier to click heads from above. But outside of those, another big thing that is not because of high ground itself, but rather because of the heroes the enemy is playing, is that you're actually really difficult to get to at the high ground, right? If they had a Genji could climb up, or Echo could just use a cooldown and get here, which, again, if they have to use a cooldown to get here, that's still some value. But the fact that they've got nothing to get up here to pressure you is very big. You can stay here forever. When you take any, they're not gonna one-shot you with anything unless you get right-clicked by a sun. When you take damage, you can just take a step back, get healed up, and then get back in, right? It's not like they can follow on you up here. Maybe you could argue maybe Ash could by taking a jump shot, but that's about the extent of it. Too long, don't read, don't give up the high ground for no reason, and use cover more. And aim your shots. I will make a point out of this. Training, practice range. So let's say your accuracy while holding left click is 50%, like a flat 50%. You hit half of your shots, you miss half of your shots. Right? How much damage did you do? About 140, right? Max damage for your shots is 70 at the right range. And you hit 2 out of 4, so you did about 140 damage. However, let me just kill them real quick. And how long did it take you to do that 140 damage? About 2 seconds, right? Because McCree shoots about, I believe it's 0.54 as a second. Recovery, so it's like technically like 2.2 seconds or something like that. But that's just like 2 seconds. However, if you take a little extra time, you can be like, okay, shoot, 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 shoot. And it takes a little longer. Let's say instead of 2 seconds is 2.5 seconds. But in 2.5 seconds, you did 280 damage. Quite literally double damage, right? So it's definitely worth it to take that extra moment to aim if you have to. And make sure you are clicking your left click each time rather than just holding it. Holding it is not bad. Like, if you can hit every shot while holding it, of course it's just better. Because it fires a little faster. But if you could like take a moment to aim and then left click, that's fine. Because you are actually doing the damage rather than, you know, holding and maybe missing and being like, oh no, I missed a few shots and you don't get a kill. Right? So it is fine to take a little extra time to aim. Not a lot. Don't take like a whole second to aim your shots, because at that point you could have taken 2 shots and gotten maybe even twice as much value. But it is fine to take like a little extra microsecond to aim. Here's when you high noon, you die, you come back, you take the high ground. And I'm saying this because you just did good. But before that, you just missed like so many shots on this Ash because you are holding the left click. Like, you miss, then because you're holding, you miss again. You never correct your aim. You miss again because you're holding. You are just trying to chase the Ash. But it's not getting to the shots in time because you are just trying to chase your rate of fire, right? It's not like you're aiming then shooting. You're just shooting and trying to catch up to those shots with your aim. But it's a lot easier if you just hit first, which you missed that one, than chasing your shots. Good shots. Orisa's very easy to kill. Don't drop, don't drop. Good job. Got to get healing. Okay, you got healing. And you can see how having the high ground and they have no one that can contest you is actually really good. Even when you take damage, you just take a step back and kill them. Your man should not be hard shielding like this, but it's fine. Your Anna's dead. Your Anna wasn't low. And their Moira fell too? Okay. You may... At least your Vine should drop in to protect your Moira. Get the Mega, yeah. You could go for a Flank High Noon. Flank High Noons work a lot better at your rank. The higher you go, the less they will work. So at like Diamond, I would stop saying go for Flank High Noons, but at this rank they could work. This is still fine though, like if you just want to. Much better target, worse target. Don't shoot tanks if you can't shoot anything else. You're 70 to 140 if you get a headshot. Is not much damage to a tank. To Orisa, who's got like 600 health, right? 450, but armor. Let's say 450 for the sake of. It's like 490 something, but let's say 450 for the sake of the example. So 450. She's got 45 chews, so her effective health is a little higher. But let's say 450. Like the bare minimum of Orisa health. If you take one shot, 70 damage, to Orisa, 70 damage is like 8% of her health. Right? It is very low. You need a lot of shots to secure the kill on Orisa. If you go after Zenyatta, who's got 200 health, or this one, or anyone with 200 health instead, it's actually like 30% of their health. More like 35% of their health. You only need 3 shots to kill someone against the 450, so 7 times 9, 35, 2 more, so 8 shots, 7 to 8 shots to kill Orisa, depending on how much armor and 45. but at the very minimum 7 shots. You need more than twice as many shots to kill Orisa. And yeah, 45 of course reduces damage to half, and you cannot headshot. So you go from being able to 2-tap someone to having to hit like 4 headshots on Orisa and then more by 45. Just don't go for tanks. Alright. Your team is fighting right now. Why did you not just go out? Did you get scared because of the people that were here? Like, you take a shot at the Orisa, I'm fine with it. I'm actually okay with this. You're shooting at people. It's not the ideal target, but you don't have better targets right now, which is the point I was trying to make earlier. Earlier, you had better targets, right? You were up on the high ground, you could choose at whom to fire. At this point, you cannot really choose at whom to fire, and shooting at the Orisa is better than shooting at the shield. You could also be rotating left if you really don't want to go out this door. But the biggest thing is that you take like 2 shots on Orisa. That McCree is dead. Most of our team is here. In fact, I believe, yeah, all of our team is here. Your Rhine is dropping from the skies. You can see this, and instead of staying in the fight, you go away. And with that McCree removed from the fight, you remove yourself from the fight for like a good 2, 3, 4, 5 seconds. And yeah, you get some kills, but at the cost of all of this. Whereas you could have gotten maybe not the same value, but similar value if you just went this way. Like, I'm not saying that a flank cannon is bad. I said earlier that it can work, but you've got to read the timing. Like, if your team is fighting, you don't have the time to go for the big flank. Looks like we may actually win anyway. Yeah, your Ryan and your Moira used their ultimates and that managed to win. Careful, Bob. You got the Bob right behind you. Yeah. Good kill, but you just stood still. Yeah, okay. And they capped! Okay, what happened here? First thing first, you guys both worry too much about Bob. Instead of harshing the Bob, you should not have to stun Bob, right? Like, if you stun Bob, it's not gonna do much. Just shoot at him, but also, you don't have enough damage to burn Bob. Just go back and play here, where Bob doesn't get you. I know you probably thought, hey, I can just kill Bob and we can go back, but both of you literally expose your packs to the Ashe, who has 1 HP. You shooting Bob is not bad if you got target focus, but you don't have target focus. You need to shoot the Bob and kill him quite literally by yourself. And then you are also standing still, which I don't think you knew the Ashe was there. And then you guys just denied that. Anywho.
I've got unfinished business.
Just waiting, it's fine. You do the McCree, you actually almost win that. You almost get a Mega, that's solid. Try to put some pressure in from the off angle. I'm okay with this. Remember what I said earlier? You're just trying to shoot at actual people, not the shields. You do, however, go a little too far from your cover. So you're probably going to die here. You may not, but you're probably going to die here because if you get pressured, you've got to do this instead of just this. Very likely to die. You also miss your roll. You get away with your life, which is surprising, but you should have died there. Almost. You need to be a little closer to follow stand right click to be a guaranteed kill. At that range, you can miss some of the shots. At that range, just left click the head instead. You are very close. Good stand right click there. Right clicking the shield is fine. Trying to do the McCree is good. Yep, that's fine. Good kills. Did not need this ultimate, like, in the slightest. In fact, I'm pretty sure you're gonna get no value out of this. Like, you got 1 kill, this is still no value. You had 6 people in you shatter against 2 tanks and that Baptiste. And that's Nyata, I mean. You just should not have your ultimate. You are overextending too. Go back. Don't worry about your monkey. If your monkey dies, that's his fault. That's not your job. right? Like, look how deep he went. That's nothing you can do about that. You're standing in the open, stop standing in the open, go back to cover. Okay, we're dragging in the shields, but you just need to get to safety and get healed up, yep. Stop frontlining. You remember what I said about it being better to shoot at squishies than shoot at tanks? You want the opposite. You want for them to have to shoot at your tanks and or cover and be like, okay, I'm gonna be a very annoying piece of shit on the side, right? And be like, pop, pop, pop. I'm doing damage to your Sen. Oops, I killed your Zenyatta. And you guys have just been shooting my shield the entire time. So don't stand in the open. Like, the biggest advice I can give you thus far is definitely don't stand in the open. Use cover more. It's a very long game. Shooting here is fine. Like, you need to put yourself out of danger. That's the whole thing, right? Like, the longer you live, the more value you get. Same thing on the... When you draw from the high ground, you didn't have to. When you shine in and draw from the high ground, you didn't have to draw. Like, the longer you live by just staying on the high ground, being safe, having cover, the better it is. There is nothing more important than surviving in Overwatch. Well, there is. It's confirming kills, right? If you confirm 2 kills and die for it, it's usually valuable, but if you confirm 2 kills and survive, you can help with a cleanup. So it's just very important that you survive. Stop standing in the open. You've been shooting at shields in that like 10 seconds. Right click at the shields is fine if you got nothing else to shoot at, but in this case you can just take a step this way and shoot at other things, so go this way and shoot at other things. You do not need to be shooting the range shield at this time. Like, if you wanted to go for the flank canyon, that would have been the time to tell you that, right? Like, you're... Let's say you wanted to go for a flank canyon. You're at like 80, 90%. And you're just like shooting the shields, and you just shoot the shield, and you just shoot the shields for like a solid 10 seconds. And it's like, okay, you have a lot of time if you want to do flank canyon this way, or maybe rotate to the high ground over here and flank canyon from above them. Good kill. That would have been the perfect time to do it, because they had nothing to do but... you had nothing to do but shoot the shields. Looks winnable though. Oh, you just missed the headshot. That should be winnable. Good kill. You die, but should be winnable anyway. That tries to just kill 4 people. Okay, your enemy was one and peaked. You killed the Sen and then died because you were low. Your Vine was low and the enemy was like, the Tracer was like, nope, nope, okay. She just capitalized on a lot of people being low. Fortunate. So you now use this. I like that. Now you probably lose this. You get rocked, you're probably dead. Right click the Rhino in that case, you had 5 shots, probably better. We are gonna lose this stuff. That was very unfortunate though, that Tracer just got 4 cleanup kills really quickly. Anywho, take cover. Like, take cover prior to surviving. That's the most important thing I can tell you thus far. Again, you can improve on your aim a little bit by just aiming and not just holding left click and trying to chase after your rate of fire. But I don't think that is as important, just making sure you live longer. Because I'm pretty sure every time you've died, you've just been out in the open. Rather than, you know, hiding a little bit with cover. Good kill though, like that rank was feeding and you punish him. Now you got to push forward, let your rank push forward. Oh, you don't have a rank anymore. Now you have Monkey. But you can still push forward a little bit, wait for Monkey to jump in. Okay, Monkey jumped in, now it's a good time to peek out and do damage. Yeah, that's good. Look at that, shooting at the people, not the shields, that's a good job. You roll a little too close, which is a problem, but it should still be winnable and you get rest too. At this point I'm okay with you being on the point because they've got no one. Just make sure, like, don't overextend and you should be fine. This is overextending a little bit, not a lot, just a little bit. Don't go out that choke though. Don't go out that choke, yeah. Okay, damage. Roll back. Okay, good roll. The Ryan is feeding, which is really good for you. Hard focus for you across the map. Nano Blade killed them. Unfortunate Genji. But overall, how do I think you're doing? I think you're doing okay. You could, like, the biggest thing again is you could be surviving a lot more by using cover and not giving up the high ground. Like, this is a good idea. Just take the high ground, lol. You have a Diva and the Mercy with you. You could rotate to bridge and hide him behind them too, if you wanted to. I'm okay with this. You pressure the McCree out, you have the high ground, you have the advantage. Great kill. Like, you're actually doing pretty good when you are, like, in a good position. It's just a matter of being in that good position. This is a 1-5, by the way. Don't use your Hanyun. You don't need to use Hanyun. You should not have dropped either, but... You should definitely not have dropped either. Because right now you could be right here and shoot at them from a safe angle. I'm like, hello, you want to come out? I kill you. Instead, you're just standing on main where the rank shield will be a big problem. And now they have a virtue. Too close. They have a Ryan and the Risa. Yeah, your Diva's gonna lose the mag. And you should get out too. And you could be getting basically the same, not quite the same, but very similar just by shooting at the high ground. Doing the McCree from the high ground will also be better. Probably just Hanyun, like, just to create space. I would just Hanyun to create space. I think you should have Hanyun just to create space. Just use it, just use it, just use it. You should have used it. Like, the thing with Hanyun, you are not very likely to get kills if you use it here. But the enemy will be very worried about pushing forward. Like, like Masters, they will just kill you instead, which happens. But at this rank, and before they put the window down, you could probably just Hanyun, clean this area up a little bit. The Ryan is on a hard shield, people are gonna try to hide behind it. And you're just buying time for your team. It's not like you're gonna get a ton of value. Now this looks like a lost fight, yeah. Still a lost fight, even though we got a couple kills. They got spawn advantage. Yep. Yep, don't go in, don't go in, don't go in, don't go in, don't go in. Don't go in. Don't go in! You're dead. Like, you may not be literally dead because the enemy team has to punish you for this bad position, but... Right? The Reaper is behind your team, which is not gonna have a big impact. You were looking for him earlier. But yeah, like, maybe Ana can heal you up, but like, Ryan and McCree and the Risa can just fuck you up. I'll be surprised if you don't die here. Yeah, you die here. Prioritize survival. Your team's doing things around them. Like, your team actually took the time to hound down that Reaper and kill him. Imagine if you had been there, though. Let's fight, let's fight. Maybe not, actually. Good kills. I don't know if it's a lost fight, but they definitely have spawn advantage, which is gonna make it really difficult. I had to cap all the way. Also, their McCree's above you. Yeah, their McCree's above you. Your Diva's trying, but yeah, spawn advantage. So, just be patient. That could have been a winnable fight if you had not fed at the very beginning. That's actually a really good kill from Diva. Hey, and now we're kind of regrouped. We can go in like 3 or 4 seconds. When your Moira comes back. Oh, never mind, you just died. I look away for one moment. You took a 5-strike to the face and then kept picking the McCree instead of backing out, okay? But like I said, when you are surviving through the fight, you're getting a ton of value. It's just a matter of actually playing to survive, not just standing in the open and, you know, using cover. Lost fight, just get out, just get out. This is a lost fight. Half of your team is dead. You've got your ultimate, you don't need to poke anymore. You are not a one-shot character. You're not gonna kill anyone with one shot. Just wait for your team. Yeah. You got the Ryan again. Failed to kill the Reaper, but it's okay. You're just okay. Yeah, you got out, but you're right click that. You got out, but very close. You can just. It's the idea of standing in the open, right? Like, usually this high ground to people down there would be covered, but this high ground to people over here, like, this is the only cover you got. So you got to use it if you're gonna do people up there. Okay, it just really feels like you've got an idea of where to play, but you don't know why, and you just start in there and then going like, oh, someone here, I kill. Good job, good kill. Should have again right click because he's got Reaper of Wraith. Maybe you realize that he just used it, but no. Get the mega before going, get the mega before going, get the mega before going. Okay, good kill, good kill. I would have loved for you to get that mega before you went, but you don't need to hang on this. You see nothing because everyone's just kind of dead and very far back. Good position though, like when you're in a good position, you are getting value when you are in a good position. But then you just give it up for no reason, and you end up in a bad position. Good kill though. Probably stay away on fight. Good kill. Tap. Good kill. Now is when you just want to start behind. Good stand. To stand behind your Rhine. We call that. You got bad spam, unfortunately. Okay, so what have we learned thus far? Cover is king. High ground is also a form of cover. But cover and high ground are king. You need to stop standing in the open. And just actually go for those. Because if you can survive just a little bit longer, you are going to get a lot more value because you are getting decent value. But you could be getting a lot more by just surviving for longer. Stop breaking the shields at this range. Just a little closer. McCree to your left, he's got Onion. Remember what I said about taking long flanks while the fight is happening? You are just losing value. Good kill though, but this is probably not winnable. Yeah. They have a spawn advantage, they have a tank, you don't. Back out from that. People can one-shot you through the window. I like this though. The fight is not happening anymore, like this is a lost fight. Yoran looks like he really wants to go in. This is a lost fight, but is it the end? No, we do have extra rounds. You are going for the flank, and you could just wait on this flank to when your team goes. Okay, your team Ryan is not feeding. What are you doing? The team fight is not happening yet. You just gave yourself, like you told the AM team, hello, there's a McCree behind you. Instead of just waiting, you know, for your team to be able to push, like your diva is still dead, your soldiers coming back, like quite literally just coming back. Instead you're just like, I'm gonna shoot the enemy and maybe try to get a kill. And you don't, because it's very difficult. And you would have been a lot better off just waiting on that high ground. And you could win this. Waiting on that high ground and you're just dead. Don't push forward like that. Never push forward like that. Like, this is good, I'm okay with this, but remember what we've been saying about being in the open. So what's that? Is that like an Ash Dynamite or something? Anyhow. Like, you just go from being at this in position, doing the McCree, and having the option to go to high ground, to being like, oh, I now cannot go anywhere. Because you roll forward, you've got no movement cooldowns, and you're just not in cover. It looks like your team wins this somehow. Nanovisor maybe? Nanovisor? Hang on this. Okay, good hang on. Just click, yep. Good kill, good kill, good kill. You kill him. That's probably play of the game. But that was not because of you, let's be clear. You did not make a good play, you just reacted appropriately. Like, that was a great time to Hanyun, they had just invested all of their resources. But it's not like you went and set up a play, you just pressed Q. But really good job getting good value out of that ultimate. Like I said though, like, I would much rather you just not die that fight by feeding stay here, not reveal yourself, right? And when your team pushes, you can just either hide him from here, go around hiding from behind, get 1 or 2 kills, and voila, it's a free 5-1. And you could have maybe finished with time, too. How do you win this?
Justice ain't gonna. No, they certainly haven't.
Five, four, three, two, one. Attackers incoming. Defend.
Okay, so your position this time is a little more conservative. That's the word I'm looking for. This is a good position to be aggressive on. Position where you have a Reinhardt in this corner, so because you can be like pop, tap, 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 kill, kill. You got some cover. You can just get out. You can play here as well, using this as cover if you got to. So, a much more aggressive position. This is a very defensive position where most of the time you're just gonna be shooting a shield if they have a shield. Unless they're extend. They don't have a Rhine, so maybe not most of the time because McCree. Sigma shield is very weak. Don't right click at that distance though. Shooting at this is fine. You're just farming them for damage. And this is the one time where you can just be like, okay, I'm gonna break the shield. Because Sigma shield only has 700 HP. So your team shooting the Sigma shield should break it very easily. And you've got 2 shields. So you can make a big advantage on that area if you just focus the shields. You drop to help your Ryan, which I'm okay with. I don't think it's the best move, but I'm okay with it. Don't overextend though, because like I said, you don't want to be in the open. Just play back here where you are dropping. Like this is a good position, right? You can shoot that way, you can shoot that way. You can come and shoot this way. You've got cover. It's a good position. This is also a decent position. Because high ground mostly. You roll down from your good position. Good kill. And you go back up to your good position. And we just win. Just stop standing in the open. Use cover and you'll get a lot better. And now, like, you've got a really good shield comp, right? McCree and Hanzo do a ton of damage. Ryan and Arisa, you got 2 shields. They also got 2 shields, but you could play to break shields. I still don't recommend it. Because they also have a decent... They have double shield now, not just one tiny paper shield on Sigmas. The option is there because you have double shield. So it's not terrible. So we rotate, you move behind your tanks. Move though. You need to push forward, like what you're doing right here, this is the open. Like if I go, like, not the McCree, the Torture maybe, let's look at the Rhine. Because that's just the best example, I think. If you're just playing here, and not pushing forward, then when you try to cross forward later, you are just gonna die because you can't hide behind the shield. Okay, it took you a while, but you crossed to safety and then came back out in the open where you can be shot. And died for it. And your Ana died for it, and your Moira died for it. Is this just a draw? Oh, that's so sad. Oh, good kill. No, right click him! You kill him anyway, but just right click. Make sure you confirm that kill. Like, you cannot not confirm that type of kill. It is very important you confirm that kill. Like, these guys should not be getting away with that kind of play. Just go for it. Just right click him. He could have gotten away. If he had roll, he may have gotten away. Not so sure about this. Can anyone touch? Maybe your Moira can touch? Okay, someone touched for you. It was your Moira, it was your Moira. Good kill. Like, that is actually a pretty good pick. and now that you help on that one, it may be winnable, but you just need to get more value. Like, this is the last time I'm gonna bring attention to this. Here, you get one kill, you push it to the point. Just play here. Force them to drop, shoot the things on the point. Look where you go instead. Instead of playing safe, like your Vayne is actually playing safe, you go out in the open, like this. Just take that. Please tell me this is not a draw. You should definitely go Tracer to come back, by the way. Even if you're not a good Tracer, it gives you a much better chance to have an actual impact on the fight. Anywho, the biggest takeaway, like, I want you to take two things away from this. Number one, cover and high ground. Like, just survive longer. A good cover and high ground are just a good way to survive longer, right? But cover and high ground are like insanely good in this game. It's like an infinite HP Reinhardt shield right there. All you got to do is like, oh, my Reinhardt shield is here. No one can shoot me. Now I peek and do damage, and come back, right? Do damage over there. It's very long range, but it's fine. Peek to damage, damage. Oh, I missed that one. I missed two actually. I missed all of them. Anywho, forget about that. The thing is, you just need to make sure you're playing with cover. Cover will help you survive a lot longer, right? Just pick out, do your damage. There you go, do your damage. And kill things, right? Just by picking out of cover, and then if you get pressured, if you take any damage, you are just safe. Now you're safe. Okay. Yeah. And the second thing was be patient again with your shots. If you are missing most of them because you're just holding left click, let me get closer to show you. If you miss like half of them because you're just holding left click, and you do like 200 damage, that's 210 damage you did not do, right? Actually, like a lot more if you include headshots. Because if you just take a moment to aim and be like, okay, I'm gonna take that extra 0.1 second to aim and hit your shots because of it, well, you're now doing much more damage. Also, don't be afraid to just right click people. Okay, let's take a small break and then I'll be back with Lexa. So I'll be back in 3 minutes. Chat. Be right back.